get a welcome you'll never forget.
What I want, so I'll take you on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in and not getting. There ain't no point in resisting. Living life like a dream, live it right, that's the thing. Every night got a team, I've been tied to the scene. Out on stage, here on screen. Okay, it's a dream, and I pray as a team. One day it'll be me. If I want it, then I get it. Hey, Dad, don't regret it. Push myself to the limit. If I play it, then I win it. I'm just saying, I'm just living for it.
Welcome back to some more Camp Geek Squad. We are on for the 203. Why was I saying 4? We're on 203 subscribers. I've asked a huge ask to try to get us to around 300, maybe even 500 by the end of the year. But that's why I'll be doing more interesting content. Now I will be doing all the verses, etc., and the lyric pranks coming up, but they're, I'm experimenting with them, trying to work on the song lyric things, and to get all the information on certain characters takes a bit of time, so they will be coming. But in this video, at the end of it, I'm going to ask a little question, so stick around for that, and it's going to be about future content, but it's going to be a little question, a little interesting thing, where, you guys help out a bit. It's when you guys interact. Now, today's video, as you could probably tell by the title, is changes I would make to Naruto. Now, I'm going to go with Naruto Shippuden, and I'm not going to make, huge changes or anything like that. But this was inspired by something I saw on TikTok. I don't have the TikTok. It was just, I saw lots of people say it. And it is Naruto being a rogue ninja. But I wouldn't do it how they do it. So for me, the original series will more or less be the same. It'll be after that. In Shippuden, the differences will be during the time skip. Now, what I'll do is he comes back, and the way I see it, he comes back an absolute baller. More powerful. Everyone's more... the way I see it is everyone's a bit more amped, but especially Naruto, right? And the way I see it is he's a lot cooler, because essentially, the way I see it is in the original, he wanted to be friends with everyone. He was so eager to impress, and that's where his personality came from, because he never had really a family or any loved ones. But with Jiraiya, the way I see it is he would have had that. He would have had a family, and I think this is when he realizes that he doesn't actually love Sakura, that there's a special place in his heart, but she doesn't love her, and he might actually have interest in Hinata. He's not sure, but it's there. And the way I see it is when he comes back, Kiba and maybe the bug guy, I forgot his name. Oh, this is an idiot thing. It's on the tip of the tongue. I'm so sorry, it is Shino. I had a bit of a dull moment there. Rock Lee and potentially even Konohamaru want to see how much more powerful Naruto's gotten, because they've gotten more powerful, and they don't think he could have got more powerful. But the way I see it is this is a colder Naruto. Now, when I say colder, I don't mean he's still a happy, same, all that guy when you're friends with him. But I mean in combat, he is a cold mofo. He's cold. And the way I see it is Kiba and Kina and Konohamaru rush him to try and take him down. And the way I see it is Naruto, literally, they rush at him, and Naruto kind of steps between them, that hands on their head things, and just smashes them into the ground. And they're not knocked out, but they're down. They're clearly beaten. And then Shinzo tried to attack, but Naruto beats him pretty much effortlessly. And then Rock Lee, you see Naruto not using any jutsu, but he's casually fighting with Rock Lee, almost seeing he's measuring Rock Lee, you see the respect, and he beats Rock Lee, but then they concede, none of them win. Clearly Naruto's the one with the upper hand, or the way I see it is Rock Lee's going all out, and Naruto's kind of blocking and countering, but he's clearly more relaxed, so he's clearly got the advantage. But then you get the big smile from Naruto and the normal Naruto you see, more or less. But the way I see it is this Naruto is less friendly with them all. Certain of them he's friendly with. He's on the edge about Sakura. She was his first crush, but he remembered everything she said about him and everything like that. And the way I see it is he's friends with he's okay with Shikamaru and Choji and Rock Lee. The rest he's kind of iffy on. He's great with Tsunade. You know, he still calls her Granny Tsunade. But this one because he's finally found out what he's been missing, and he's fully realized how much he was mistreated. That's what's changed. So then most of it stays the same. You know, he's back. He's beaten those. He goes stand up on that thing. You've got Sakura and Shikamaru and the others, you know, all seeing him and heading over to him. And the way I see it is, Ino and some of the villagers are all like, and Sakura are all kind of being like, oh, Naruto, Naruto. He smiles at like Sakura, but he walks past her, ignoring everyone, completely blanks Ino. The way I see it is, he sees Hinata, Choji, Shikamaru walking towards him, and the way I see it is he goes up. Hinata comes up to him trying to say hi, but you know, stuttering. And the way I see it is Naruto smiles, gives her a little like, you know, grin, his cheeky little grin. Walks past her, but like shuffles her head, going, "Hey, Hinata," in a calm, like a calmer voice. Walks past, talks to Shikamaru and Choji, you know, asking how they are, and asks, do they know where Kakashi is? You know, so after the little talk with the others and Hinata hugely blushing, the way I see it, he goes to find Kakashi. He catches up with Kakashi, you know, but he's doing it in like an awkward way because I think now he sees Kakashi as like an older brother. Jiraiya is his father figure. Kakashi's like an older brother / relative, you know what I mean? And he thanks Kakashi. Kakashi's a bit dumbfounded. And while this is happening, Kakashi just left the Hokage's office because the way I see it, Jiraiya, Tsunade and Kakashi were talking about Naruto's development. And the way I see it is he's a lot more powerful, you know. He is Sasuke level, you know, above Sasuke level. The way I see it is Naruto and Sasuke are Sanin level, if not above that already, or like around that level, maybe a bit above, maybe a bit below, and Sakura is ahead of it isn't yet. The way I see it is Sakura's been training, so she is very skilled, but she's not like the most skilled as she was. You know, she stays around the same power, maybe a little bit more. The way I see it is she stays the same power, but she's learned more, if that makes sense. Because I think her just learning to heal and mastering the healing jutsu later is fine, but I think she needs to learn more jutsus. So the way I see it is maybe she learned 1 or 2 things from Kakashi. I don't know what her affinity is, chakra affinity, but she learns more. But the way I see it then is he goes to Tsunade. He's all happy. It's normal Naruto. And then when he goes to fight Kakashi is when you see the real difference. So in the fight against Kakashi, you know, the bell test, which I think they're all interested in doing, they did well. But the way I see it is Naruto's doing a lot better and really keeping up with Kakashi. Like, it's more like even footage. And Sakura's there, obviously, helping out. And I think it ends. I think they actually get so close to getting the bells, like they touch it a few times, but they're just not quite there. Because I think at this point, Kakashi is more experienced, knows more jutsus, and is slightly faster. But the way I see it is Sakura is stronger, knows more jutsu, and is a great healer. And Naruto is more powerful, good at fighting, but not quite on the speed of Kakashi yet. And doesn't know as many jutsu and doesn't have the experience just quite yet. But it is clear that they are more or less even. All 3 of them are more or less a lot closer than originally were. And Naruto, when he fights, Kakashi's a little taken aback because Naruto normally, with the friends, he's the same as always. With random people, he's the same as always. But with anyone who mistreated him, he's cold, and in fights, he is cold. He when he's against weaker opponents, he does what Kakashi and Minato does, hands in the pockets, smiling, stuff, you know. But when against strong opponents, his face kind of just goes a bit cold with occasionally a grimace or a smile, depending on the situation. He loves those type of fights. And that's the new Naruto. He's more confident. He knows Hinata likes him, and he thinks he likes her, so it's like every time he sees her, he says, "Hey, Hinata," and does that, like, you know, that little cute, like, hand on the head shuffle thing, or something cute like that, but nothing properly official. Also, at this point, I'd do it where he can do the Rasengan one-handed, but it takes a little longer. You know, he can do it, it just takes a little longer, but he can do it very quickly with the extra shadow clones. But he doesn't let anyone know that, you know, like tactical advantage. He won't let anyone know that, but he still obviously can do it easy. His shadow clones are great, and he knows a few other jutsus, you know, not just... The way I see it is he can break through most genjutsus, only, you know, apart from like top level like Itachi, he can't break out of Itachi's. Sasuke he would struggle with, but any like mediocre or below, or even some good, he can break out of it. It's the top shinobi he struggles with, you know. He's better at sensing danger. His senses are better. His taijutsu is essentially on par with Kakashi / Might Guy level, around that level. His IQ is also a lot closer to theirs, and he knows more diverse jutsu. And at this point, I'd have it where he hasn't mastered Sage Mode, but he's learning it. And this is when the story really starts to diverge. The way I see it happening is, at this point, the village are still apprehensive and still treating him a bit like an outsider, but less than they were, obviously, in the original Naruto. You know, the kid Naruto, because he's already proven himself a little bit. He beat Shikaku, he beat Gaara, he beat Neji, so they respect him a bit more, but they still don't particularly like him. You know, like, so he's still getting the cold shoulder here, and then he's still getting treated, but this time he doesn't kind of put up with it. But he kind of brushes it off when people are around, but every now and then you kind of see that coldness in his air, but he's more or less the same airy, normal Naruto. But where it starts to really change is, I think, the pain arc should happen earlier. So everything happens much less the same, but the pain happens slightly sooner. So shortly after getting back to the village, he is about, a week, I'd say a few weeks back to the village, you know, maybe a few months back in the village. So still kind of new, and not everyone respects him. The Konoha 12 will respect him. He's on essentially meh with most, like with some of them, like Ino, and most of them. Shino, you know, Shino. Not that there's anything wrong with Shino. It's just he's never been friendly with him, but he's a lot closer at this point, and like he's openly best friends with Shikamaru. There's some people clearly can see there's a thing going on between him and Hinata. Like, you know, they clearly tell that they like each other. He's close with Choji, Rock Lee. He's even alright with Neji, that type of stuff. And at first I think he's a bit cold with Sai at first. Same like he was. He's still a bit bratty. Essentially, I'm trying to get it across. His personality is more or less the same, you know, most of the time. But in combat and with people he doesn't like, he's not as much, and he's less attention-seeking. You know, he's less hyperactive. He's still hyperactive, but he's no longer doing things for attention because he doesn't need it anymore. You know, he's got Jiraiya. Anyway, the pain arc, but I think everything happens a lot quicker than normal. He's more powerful, so things get dealt with. Sasuke, the way I see it is, he's a bit taken aback because I think he still has a soft spot for Sasuke. But then Sasuke tries to kill him. He's taken aback, but like it's said later that if Naruto, you know, if Orochimaru didn't stop Sasuke, Naruto could have handled it and got them all out of there just about, but it would have been a tough fight. And but this is when he starts to lose interest in Sasuke. He still wants to bring Sasuke back, but he's less so up for it like he was. And the pain arc happens sooner. He's mastered Sage Mode because he's been practicing, you know, whilst at the village, etc. Shikamaru's helped him, Kakashi's helped him, etc. They like watch over him, etc. while he's training. And the big thing is pain kills Pain kills Jiraiya sooner. Naruto beats Pain shortly after, and it's after that Naruto becomes a rogue ninja. But now he doesn't become a rogue ninja in the sense of the Katsuki or Sasuke. He becomes a rogue ninja because there's no reason to stay in the village at this point. You know, they're not up to speed. They clearly can't keep up with Pain, and if the Akatsuki's all on Pain, so he's not gonna. So he's leaving because he doesn't. You know. Plus the village, while they like him, he hates that they've just started liking him all of a sudden, and he's heartbroken about Jiraiya, and everything seems to remind him of Jiraiya. Now, by the time he masters Sage Mode, in base form, no Sage Mode, no Kurama form, he is a lot better. Now, I see he's also getting along with Kurama a bit more, you know, than normal. Not a lot more, just a bit more. But he's already, I'd say, above Sannin level. Him, Kakashi, Sasuke are above Sannin level. Sakura's on Sannin level. Not Orochimaru, but more like Tsunade / Jiraiya level. Naruto's already stronger than Orochimaru, or as strong as Orochimaru was at this point. And with Sage Mode, he's Kage level. You know, he curve stomps all current Kage, you know, like Sasuke does with his internal Mangekyou Sharingan. Anyway, so he leaves the village, but leaving with him is his best friend, Shikamaru, because, you know, they're best friends. Because the way I see it is Shikamaru only started actually trying or putting effort in because of Naruto. So he's going to leave with Naruto. The way I see it is Tsunade also kind of wants to leave with Naruto because Naruto, you know, he's the reason he came back. But she doesn't because the village need her. The way I see it is Kakashi also leaves at this point because he wants to keep an eye on Naruto because Naruto's just lost Jiraiya. And then he's also, you know, the nine-tailed Jinchuriki, and that tends to, you know, that could trigger it, so he wants to keep an eye. And Hinata leaves. So Shikamaru, Hinata, and Kakashi leave. You could also maybe say Choji, because to leave with Shikamaru, I'm not too sure. Sai stays behind. Rock Lee the rest of the Konoha 12 stay behind because they need to help the village. But they all do get more powerful because they have to now do it without the likes of Kakashi, Naruto, etc. And when I say Rogue Ninja, what I mean is they've left the village. They're not in the village. They've dropped their association with the village. Gaara is helping them. Tsunade still helps them. Don't get me wrong. Tsunade helps them when they can and hasn't reported them as Rogue Ninja, even though technically they are. And Gaara obviously would ride or die with Naruto as well, so they help out. And what Naruto's doing is, instead of the Akatsuki are tracking down the Jinchuriki, Naruto's tracking down the Akatsuki. So he goes off, he finds them, he finds some of the Akatsukis. So essentially, he beats some of the Akatsuki instead of it happening. And this is where things start to change. Instead of them fighting him, like him coming to him, or fighting other people, he's fighting them, and he's got Sage Mode he's got Sage Mode, so he's tracking the remaining ones down. The thing with Gaara still happens, obviously, earlier. But I think some of them happen later. I think Pain happens slightly sooner, because Naruto's got a lot more powerful, so they want to do it before he gets too more powerful. For those of you wondering why Sakura didn't go, the way I see it is she wants to go save Sasuke. She wants to go with Naruto, but she's a bit about it, and she doesn't want to leave Tsunade, so she stays behind. And now Kakashi, Shikamaru, and Hinata go with Naruto, and I see Naruto and Hinata getting along more. They're not dating, but actually at this point it's after the Kakashi, so they're a couple now. They're dating unofficially. They're clearly together, but they haven't, it's not official. Similar to Shikamaru and Tamari were. They were clearly a couple before they were officially a couple. And they tracked them down. And this is going to be it for part 1. It's a bit of a long video. I've explained it. Part 2, I will do it at a future date. And essentially it'll be the future changes and what happens because of said changes here. And essentially it's this is more like a what if, but the things I would properly change about Naruto is making his personality slightly different. You know, he's come back more mature and more powerful than he was. But these other rogue ninjas are just like a storytelling thing. So I'll carry on part 2, which will take us from the Suna Pain arc up until the war and into the war. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Anyway, and in just a second I will talk about the challenge. So the said challenges, I saw this fusion and I thought it was amazing. I saw a video on it on TikTok and more. And it was essentially it's called Sun L. It's a fusion of Goku and Superman. Now, I'm not sure which version it is, like combining their abilities, or like the dance fusion in Dragon Ball, or the Potara fusion, the equivalent, where you times it together. Now, either way you look at it, what I want to do is Lucifer, Morningstar, Curve Stomps all of these characters, right? So I want to create a team of fusions. But the rule is, because it's so easy to fuse comic book characters and anime characters, you could only fuse a comic book character with an anime character and vice versa. So you can't, fuse Thor and Hulk, for example. But you can fuse anime characters and comic books. That is the rules, and we're creating a team that can try and fight Lucifer or the fusion of Darkseid and Thanos, and other people. We can either do a fused team or against Lucifer. So Goku and Superman is on this list, and the rules are you can't fuse other characters. So if I fused Goku and Superman, I then can't do a fusion of Batman and Goku. So any artists out there, please let me see your art of these things, and as a group, as a community, we are going to give our different ideas, debate them, and then we'll come in different videos. So I'll do a few follow-ups. Just let me know in the comments or message me on my Instagram, which is camp_geek_squad_, I believe. Let me just check now. It's coming up. It is camp_geek_squad. That is my thing. So just message me on there. What your fusions and why those fusions. Now, here's some other fusion abilities. Thor and Vegeta. So, Vegeta and Thor, essentially. Batman and Gohan. Originally, I was thinking of Batman and Broly, because do you know how insane that would be? It would be, essentially Broly with Batman's intelligence and fighting skill. A Broly that, went from weak to forcing Goku and Vegeta to fuse. But instead I went with Batman and Gohan, essentially a sane version of Batman. He's like the Tournament of Power and beyond. The more powerful Gohan fused with Batman's intelligence skill. Madness, absolute madness. And I have a feeling that if they did that, Batman would probably find a way to enter get God Key, and it's all over from there. The next fusion is insane, and the reason I stopped the original is Broly and Hulk. Yes, you heard me right, Broly and Hulk. Do you know the mad potential in this? The angrier Hulk gets, the stronger he gets. He can go from, he can literally he can go from walking normally to destroying cities with a step in a matter of seconds. Pair that with Broly's mad potential and legendary Saiyan forms, you have someone who can, in the span of seconds, get it to where his step is destroying galaxies. And that, right there, is the reason. The other one is going to be crazy. Doomsday versus Jiren. Times Jiren. Jiren's amazing abilities, plus Doomsday's physical thing, and the fact that he can come back from the dead immune to what killed him before. And then the other options are Flash with Kakashi, Flash with Itachi, Flash with Madara, Obito, etc. I've also got like Captain America, maybe with Escanor, Meliodas, All Might. But anyway, let me know your fusion ideas. The only one that's definitely on this list is Goku and Superman. All the others are up for debate, so let me know. And your challenge is to find me some fusions that can take on Lucifer Morningstar, who I think is the most powerful character in all of comics. I'm excluding the Presence and the One Above All, and in my opinion, they are the most powerful. And I want to try and find the perfect person to fuse with Anos, because I love Anos for all the good, from the Demon of Misfit Academy. Anyway, that's your challenge. Also, remember, aim to get to 300 to 500 subs by the end of the year. I know it's a push, but I'm already going to do a Q&A as soon as I get comments. If you do that, I will do something of your choice.